Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel Chelsea news and Everton preview. It's that time of the season again where there's a lot of transfer activity coming into Chelsea, going out of Chelsea, and of course, we have got 5 finals left in the Premier League. And listen, last season, we were kind of just going into every game at the ending of the season thinking, well, isn't it nice to finally be winning? This season, we have got a fight on our hands, and this is exactly how it looks right now. Chelsea are 6th in the Premier League. This weekend, we can go 3 points clear of Aston Villa, having played the same amount of matches. We can temporarily leapfrog Newcastle with a win and leapfrog Nottingham Forest due to our superior goal difference. Right now, I think psychologically, Chelsea shouldn't be just aiming for 5th. We should be looking to go as high as we possibly can. Man City, we can't catch them this weekend, but we can go within 1 point of them. But City have probably got the easiest fixtures. So, this weekend, Chelsea need to put things in our hands a little bit. Obviously, we can't affect the scores of the other sides, but if we keep winning, there is more chance that we can eventually capitalise on a slip-up from one of these surrounding teams. So, before we go into anything more, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you've got your notifications set because tomorrow's live stream, early kickoff, it is going to be an absolute blast. I can't wait for Chelsea-Everton tomorrow. It's going to be massive. Let's talk about the Chelsea news. Willian Estevão, he is now 18 years old, and he's been speaking about why Chelsea. People do not understand how much Chelsea wanted me, how much belief they have in my potential. People don't know about the project they presented to us. These things matter a lot. I know we've made the right decision. First of all, he's coming out in the media and saying this, that's great. I'm hoping that whatever it is that Chelsea have sold to Estevão, I'm hoping that we can hold true to it. I'm hoping that whatever glory we have said this guy is going to get if he comes to Chelsea Football Club, I hope that we're serious about it. Because Estevão looks to me like one of those gems, one of those players that you do break the we need more experience, we need some older players rule for. And I'm excited. I don't expect fireworks. I've spoken a lot on GBFC about my expectations for Estevão. And realistically, there's a lot of positions right now at Chelsea that we don't know what's going to happen. We have got Madueke, Neto, Tyreek George, Sancho. We got Cole Palmer in the 10. Nkunku's going to go. So is Estevão coming in to be the second number 10 option? In which case, is he going to settle for playing every other game? I don't think so. It's healthy to have competition, but at the same time, it's about, like, what is this project? Do you know what I mean? Like, we bought a load of young players, we want to build this, but is it the reality? I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But anyway, Estevão coming this summer. I'm absolutely buzzing for it. The next piece of news, Chelsea are interested in bringing Kevin De Bruyne back to the club this summer as a free agent. I've not spoken too much about the whole Kevin De Bruyne free agent available scenario. I personally don't want Chelsea to do this. I think De Bruyne, as much as he's been in great form recently for Man City, I think it will be difficult to motivate him at Chelsea. We all know the narrative. We all know the story. He got sold, Mourinho, whatever, and then he's gone on to do incredible things, win tons of titles with City, and become one of the best midfielders of this Premier League era. But I think this is, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I sit here on so many occasions saying, we need more experience, buy some older players. It is free. I'm changing my mind here. I'm actually changing my mind as I even say it. I didn't want it because I think we wouldn't get the De Bruyne. We know that we wouldn't get that De Bruyne that was so good for so long for Man City because he's getting older and he isn't as good as he was, but he's still very good. So maybe, I don't know. I'm so on the fence with this one. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about Kevin De Bruyne to Chelsea. Maybe you guys can leave a comment and it can sway me in one direction. Barcelona would reportedly be willing to sell Raphinha if they receive an offer of around 100 million euros this summer. The Brazilian is being targeted by Arsenal, Liverpool and Chelsea. I spoke on the channel about the crazy transfer story of Rodrigo a couple of weeks ago. I do believe there's a lot of PR going around right now. But listen, if you're going to be in the market for a winger and you're going to spend 100 million, Raphinha right now the best winger in the world right now, in my opinion. He's delivering on the big stage. He's been incredible at Barcelona. He's played in English football before, and Barcelona, we know, are in financial dire straits. They usually find a way. Not sure if it's always by the book, but they do. But potentially, if he's available, I don't think this is an anything story at this point, but I'd absolutely love Raphinha at Chelsea. What a player he has turned out to be. Chelsea could let Christopher Nkunku leave for as little as 40 million this summer, with Man United one of the clubs interested. Look, at this point for me, when it comes to Christopher Nkunku, I don't really care. Obviously, I want the finances to be beneficial to Chelsea Football Club, but realistically, this guy, he should have been sold in January. We should have let him go. Not sure why we didn't. And Nkunku's time at Chelsea has not been a success. We need to get on and move on from that, but learn from it. It's not about just being like, well, that was a bad move. We need to know why it wasn't a bad move. We need to ensure that with the future moves, we don't make the same mistakes. Don't misprofile signings. That is what we need to do moving forward. Now, Chelsea-Everton, we're 6 minutes in to this video today. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. And smack a like on this video if you believe that all of these games right now are like finals to Chelsea. If we keep winning, then we can keep believing. If you keep winning, the likelihood is you can use that momentum to keep winning. And I want to bring us back to that amazing win at Fulham last week. And I say amazing, the performance was bad, I think. Over the course of the 90 minutes, not an impressive performance. But the way in which we won was really important. Because we remember last season against Manchester United, that 4-3, the incredible win with the Cole Palmer hat-trick. That kind of spurred us on for the rest of that season. And I've got a feeling that win away at Fulham, the celebrations at the end, players, fans, yeah, Maresca went down the tunnel, whatever, we don't care. Right now, he's not the priority. We just need to get a tune out of these players. Stamford Bridge, early kickoff, be up for it. If you go into this game, make some noise. Because I tell you what, I cannot sit here and witness Conference League. I don't want to be in the Europa League. We're there. We've been there all season. Maresca keeps reminding us, oh, we've been in the top 4 all season. Finish the job. This is another final. This is the most winnable match between now and the end of the season. And look, the damage was done against Brentford. The damage was done against Ipswich. We got the win last week against Fulham. Doesn't matter how, we did it. It's the same again here. 3 points is everything. There is also the conversation that needs to be thought about regarding goal difference at the end of the season. If you saw the More GBFC video, nearly 20,000 views on it right now, I actually predict Chelsea, Newcastle and Villa to all have 69 points. Check that video out down below. It's a mad video. And I think goal difference could be what is the difference maker. Newcastle have Ipswich this weekend at home. So we have got to flipping go out there and try and replicate the Chelsea-Everton game of last season. 7-0 I want this year, mate. Not 6, I want 7. Just want to win, really, but we're going to go for it. Anyway, this is what SofaScore predicts the lineups to be. If we take a look at Everton's 4-2-3-1, Pickford, Patterson, O'Brien, Branthwaite, Mikalenko, Garner, Gay, Harrison, Decore, and Dye, and Beto. That is what the Chelsea predicted lineup is. It's not quite what I've gone for. It's very, very close, but I've made some changes. So, without any further ado, let's build my Chelsea 11. Starting off with this man, Rob Sanchez. I've said between now and the end of the season, we're going to move on every time. There's nothing to say. Moving into a back four, Reece James, Chalobah, Colwill, and Mark Cucurella. Reece James last week, he was, I'm going to say, a slight weak link. There was a substitution made at half-time. Malo Gusto is not available for this game against Everton, so I think we are going to have to see now Reece James. Maybe Josh Akchampong does get minutes here, but I think Reece has just got to be a bit sharper in possession. I think this season when we've seen him come back from injury, I'm delighted that we haven't seen a reoccurrence of an injury, but that quick sharpness, the reaction speeds, they're not quite what they were. And I think that's an observation that's very fair. And as much as he's our captain, I absolutely love him. He does need to sharpen up because we can't be allowing for any mistakes at this stage of the season. The rest of that back line, Chalobah, Colwill, with all the stories that we're reading at the moment about Dean Howson, maybe other centre-backs too, these guys have really got to show up here. Mark Cucurella left back, he's having a brilliant season, isn't he? Let's move into the pivot of Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo. These two, as a midfield pairing, I believe are the highest rated midfield pairing in the league this season, which not entirely sure if we should trust all of these ratings that we see all of the time, but That's great news. We know that Caicedo's been great. If we look at on SofaScore here, the averages recently, Enzo Fernandez 7.34 and Caicedo with 7.21 in that Chelsea midfield. So this is obviously going to be a battle here in the middle, because if you look at Everton, Idrissa Gueye, Decore, they always get numbers in central areas. We saw last week from Man City, they were able to hurt Everton late on. Everton didn't necessarily have the legs. They used Jeremy Doku off the bench. And that is what I've kind of thought about here with my Chelsea lineup, because as Everton tired, Pep Guardiola brought on the fastest, most direct player. So I have gone with something here that a lot of you might disagree with, because I know a lot of people want Tyreek George to start this game. I said in the podcast episode this week, I think we should use him off the bench. Could we see something similar to hurt this Everton right side from a Tyreek George late on in the game? And I'm also debating between Madueke, Neto, or both Madueke and Neto. But I have gone with this. Neto on the right, Sancho left, Palmer, Nicolas Jackson up top. Nicolas Jackson needs to pull something out of somewhere right now. He is completely out of form. Cole Palmer, exactly the same. We need these two to show up. And I think this is the game that they do. I've got a feeling that Cole Palmer's bad run, bad luck, whatever you want to say, I think it ends here. I think Palmer is going to rock up at Stamford Bridge on this April afternoon and fire Chelsea back into the top four. I'm confident going into this game, because I believe that what we saw at Fulham last week will give these players that belief. It will show them, look, we're not playing very well, but you see what it means to those fans. You see what it means to us. We don't want to be playing some drab matches on Thursday nights in the Conference League anymore. Neto, brilliant goal. He's got to start for me. Madueke, absolutely could really hurt Mykolenko if Mykolenko starts. But I also think Pedro Neto can hurt Mykolenko too. And Everton are probably going to go with a low block. So I quite often choose Jadon Sancho to break down that low block. But again, we could see Madueke on the right, Neto on the left. I just have to start Neto personally after he scored that goal last week. Other than the goal, I don't think his performance was great. But again, I'm thinking about the fuel that the ending of that match has given these players. And I'm thinking we need to utilize that going into this game at the Bridge. And boy, oh boy, do we need to win this. We cannot afford to drop any more points at home. And I mean that. I genuinely think we need to beat Everton. We need to beat Liverpool, which sounds crazy, but they're going to be champions this weekend. I'm sure of it. So we're going to need to beat Liverpool. We need to beat Man United. But tomorrow, Everton, they got absolutely nothing to play for. If we take a look at the Premier League table, they're 13th in the league. They're probably not going to be able to catch Crystal Palace. They're kind of battling out in that mini league between 13th and 17th, between Everton, Manchester United, Tottenham, Wolves and West Ham. Just had to throw in the other teams that are down there. But Chelsea, we absolutely are fighting our own fight right now. And this is a must-win game. Let me know your score predictions in the comments down below. I'm going with a 3-0 Chelsea win. I know that is probably the boldest prediction I've given for a while. I don't remember the last time I actually sat here and confidently said that we're going to get a big win, let alone a clean sheet or anything. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit too hyped. Maybe I'm a bit too gassed. But if you do enjoy the gas, make sure you tune in to the stream tomorrow. We're going to be live about an hour and a half before kickoff. It's an early kickoff, so that means get as many of you in here as possible. I want to break the number record tomorrow for a GBFC watch along this season. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. More GBFC link down below. Come on, you Blues.